absolutely. All right. Muscle talk with the skeleton crew. Well, we might as well address the elephant in the room. When things get tough, some people tuck tail and run, and some people stay. And that's pretty much what it is.
Right.
Did you ever see the movie? Good.
People have their reasons, and I guess the fallout from leaving MD is, had its after effects.
Right.
And, sometimes that's scary for people. So, and these guys are the guys in the industry that have to answer to other people. And I get it, dude. I was an athlete. So,
yeah,
you don't want anything haunting over your shoulder. But the reality of it is that this is a podcast, and we should be free to talk about whatever the fuck we want to talk about, and
right.
have open discussions. And, the people that will want to be a part of this, and the people we grow this with will help contribute to that factor, but now the gloves are off, no holds barred. We could talk about
we could talk about whatever the hell we want now. Thank God,
There's a silver lining here.
That exactly. And we're gonna rebuild, and management's gonna be restructuring. Did you ever see the movie 25th Hour with Ed Norton? Great movie.
I did. Yeah.
All right. So the movie.
I haven't seen it in fucking years, dude. That was
one of my favorite movies ever. Ed Norton was one of the best. He's going to jail, right?
Yeah.
And the night before he goes to jail.
Shit up before he goes in, yeah.
Right. And he's going to jail, and him and his yeah, that's right. That was a great scene. Yeah. And there's a scene where they're in the nightclub, him and his wife and his girl or whatever, and his friends that he grew up with, and they're about to drink, and they make a toast, and Ed Norton says, champagne for my real friends and real pain for my sham friends.
Real pain for my sham friends.
There you go. So just thought I'd say that. But anyway,
it's a business. You don't take it personally.
Yeah, no, exactly. But I just want to express how much it means to me that you've been a loyal friend this whole time.
Oh shit.
I know it means a lot. I know we just, became friends a couple of years ago, but the fact that you're been with me since day one and never left, and been with me at MD and then came back after the fallout, it just means a lot to me, man. It truly does. So, that's it. We're besties now. You're never getting rid of me. That's it. So it's fucking, that's it. I'm going to be.
we said we grow this together, dude, and we'll make, and there's going to be other guys that come and go.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We're gonna have some special guests coming up. Absolutely. Yeah. Did you see all the comments though? I mean, everything was positive. I did not realize. I mean, I have a small podcast that's growing, but I did not realize how far it stretched. I mean, I got messages from people from Poland.
Really?
On Instagram.
No shit.
From Poland, from the UK, saying that supporting me. All the messages in the YouTube channel, the video I put out supporting me. It was like 30 or 32 messages supporting me. Really, I am so grateful for that. Really, really, really grateful, because like we talked, I'm not a big time podcaster. I'm not a big company like MD or RX Muscle or anything like that. It's fucking me and a microphone, right? So the fact that I have so much support truly means a lot. And as a matter of fact, I'm actually doing something about it. I have a show every Monday called Anabolic Academy. And one of the guys that supports me is really into bodybuilding. He used to own a gym. He's a fan of the show. And he messaged me. And so this Monday, he's going to come on with me and do the show with me. That's just the way we answer Instagram questions. So it's just giving it back to all the people that support me, and show how I appreciate the fans. So when this guy sent me a DM and gave me a whole long, it wasn't like under a post. He sent me a DM and, basically a nice supporting message. Okay. And And I just said, how about you come on? You know? And he goes, yeah. And he was all in for it. He's from Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's a blue collar guy like me. He's a truck driver. He used to own a gym. His dad was a bodybuilder. He's a bodybuilder. So it should be a lot of fun. I think in Instagram, his name is the Rican Rhino, because he's Puerto Rican. Yeah.
That's familiar.
Yeah. Let me see. Rican Rhino. Here he is. Yeah, I don't know his for but yeah, that's him. So it should be fun, you know. So it's just like, you know, listen, they support me, so I'm gonna give back a little bit, and it means a lot to me. Anyway, before we get into bodybuilding,
yeah.
This weekend, me and my wife are going to Pennsylvania to go see two breeders, and we're looking to get a female Cane Corso. Dude, Ralphie is about 57 pounds. He's almost 9 months old, right?
Yeah.
We're looking at the two of them. One is 14 weeks old. They're both, one is 14 weeks old, one is 13 weeks old. They're already as big as Ralphie. Yeah. So the one we're going to go see.
You're looking at mate him.
No. He needs a playmate, because Lola's so old. She's almost 15. And he crashes into her. You know, and you could tell she almost can't make it up the stairs by herself.
So she's past menopause. She doesn't get, you know.
Yeah.
There's no wetness going on there anymore. She's not
not even close. Yeah. She doesn't want to be bald. All she wants to do is eat, sleep, shit, and that's it.
And knit and play bingo.
Yeah. And watch
reruns of the Honeymooners.
The Golden Girls.
The Golden Girls, right. and the game shows and soap operas during the day.
Yeah. So me and the wife are gonna go and check him out, because we always had Hercules, and Hercules was a very big, imposing, intimidating dog, but he was very friendly.
Right.
And I don't want to sound like a jerk, but you know, my wife is home alone on when she's not working on Mondays and Tuesdays. You know, Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays. You know, not that I live in a bad neighborhood. I don't. I live in a nice neighborhood, but it's just comforting knowing that.
Yeah, dude.
That it's
that shit happens in nice neighborhoods, dude. I live in a good neighborhood.
Yeah,
There's a couple fucking break-ins down the road, dude. Like, it's scary.
Yeah.
I don't like my wife leaving the garage door open anymore.
Right.
Like, during the day, if I'm not home.
Yeah.
So he fucking walks in and my wife rapes him. You know, the trouble I'm gonna fall into if that happens. Fucking the poor victim.
Yeah, unbelievable, man. At first, I was thinking about a surveillance system, but they're too expensive. Fuck that.
Oh, they got cheap.
I'm only breaking balls.
Right.
So we were looking at Dobermans and Rottweilers, but we were female. The one breeder we were talking to, the father was 140 pounds, and the mother was 125 pounds.
Jesus Christ! Really?
Yes. So she's gonna be big. Yeah, she's gonna be. Samson Dowda has a Cane Corso.
I saw a picture.
Yeah, and I messaged him. I saw him at the New York Pro. Fantastic guy, by the way. I mean, stopped, hugged me. I met his wife. We took a picture. Great guy. Whatever. So I messaged him. You know, what does he think about the Cane Corso? And he goes, "Smart dog, best dog he ever had. The only thing is they're really clingy, and they hate it when they're home alone."
Oh, sure.
Yeah, but
Did we talk about the New York Pro?
We didn't. No, I did, but we'll talk. We'll get into it.
All right.
We'll get into it. So I think that's probably what we're gonna do this weekend. You know, do you want to hear something funny? I'm gonna have to change the dog's name, because my dog is named Ralphie. Right. One of the pups that we're gonna go look at is named Loretta. I have a cousin named Ralph, and his wife is named Loretta.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. So I got to change her name.
They're not coming out.
Yeah, they're not gonna. They're gonna think that's too much of a coincidence.
Right.
But yeah. So anyway. So did you see what Carlos looks like?
Dude, you mentioned it before. I saw a picture of him. It's not the one you're talking about. I didn't see that one.
Look at this, bro. He looks fucking like freaky. This is unbelievable. Look at this. What the fuck?
When was that taken?
This was 1 day ago.
Dude, can you blow that up? That's scary.
Yeah, I mean, I almost feel bad that he missed the New York Pro because as good as Tonio and Beef Stew is, he's next level, dude. This is fucking freaky. I mean, I don't know if he has any other. No, he just got back on, but that's yeah. I saw this picture. I was like, holy shit.
That's a lot of muscle.
Yeah. I think the Cali Pro is coming up this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah. And then Toronto.
Toronto right after that. So I think it's a rematch at Cali with Tony Burton and Beef Stew.
I think there's a couple other guys doing it too, though.
See, I didn't get the list.
I heard. I didn't see it, but I heard somebody talking about some other fresh blood doing the Cali.
I didn't get the list. Oh, by the way, do you like my t-shirt?
Well, it's like a direct competitor to I Prevail supplement. It's not the species in a good company.
Oh, okay. Well, I just, it was hot in my house, and I was like, oh, look, here's a tank top that I gotta wear, and I just put it on.
But if you're not taking I Prevail, then you're just.
That goes without saying. But this is a good number 2, right? You can't take I Prevail.
They make some good stuff.
Yeah, especially the Fiberlize.
Yeah, actually, his protein's good.
Yeah,
he's got a solid protein.
I don't use his protein. I use his Fiberlize, bro. I never use this pre-workout. I use your pre-workout, but the Fiberlize, me and my wife both take it. Dude, I shit like a silverback when I take that stuff. It's unbelievable. Like everybody says it's the same as Metamucil. I don't think so. I mean,
no, it's different. No, he has insoluble and soluble fibers. I think he has inulin. He has, I believe, prebiotics in there, some digestive enzymes. He's got a good complex in there.
Yeah, and I was at Signature Gym. I was doing legs before I got here, and I had to stop in the middle of it and run to the bathroom.
Oh, shit.
And what's great about it, too, is when I take it, I don't have to, how you have to sit there.
I don't want to talk about this.
Yeah. It just comes right out.
Somehow with you, it always reverts. It always goes to you shitting somewhere and leaving a mess. And I'm not comfortable. I'm a private pooper. I like pooping in private.
Really? Yeah. Before you had kids, you didn't shit with the door halfway open talking to your wife?
Never.
Really?
Never.
I do that all the time. My wife does it.
I can't do that. Dude, really? I don't like going unless I'm home.
That's how you know you really found somebody. When you could take a shit and have a conversation at the same time. You got a connection. You got to marry that person.
I've had plenty of connections. I still don't ever feel the need that I feel comfortable enough
really
to poop in front of. I don't like it.
Yeah. I usually open the door a crack because if I do, then Ralphie runs in and he wants to hang out with me. And I'm like, unbelievable. Yeah. But I'll open the door a crack and I'll see her in and I'll fucking just say something stupid, whatever. I don't know what I'll say. Like she'll be cooking. I'll be like, nice tits, bitch. And I'll just shut the door. Anyway. So I think there's going to be a rematch between Tony Burton and Beef Stew.
Okay.
Do you think I was at the show? It was very close. It was very, very close. Yeah. And I think Stu really thought that he won because he did not have any emotion on stage when he took second.
Yeah, I heard that.
And then after he got off the stage, he was not sociable at all. Like all the guys were kind of like talking to the fans and everything and blah blah. He was not sociable. You could clearly see he was a little upset. But it was very close. It was very close. Tony Burton did what looked great, but he did not destroy Stu by any stretch of the imagination. So I'm wondering if Stu could have some redemption and beat him.
So Stu, to me, and again, it's from pictures. I wasn't there. Pictures are completely different. Two things that I could aid to give some constructive criticism. And it's only the second time I've seen Stu, so I don't know what he looks like
Right.
going into the show where he pops more. Maybe he's just overly depleted, but he looked a little flat in certain areas where Tony was just popping, right?
Exactly. Yes.
So I don't know if that's from over dieting, over dehydrated. Um, those could be two big contributing factors that could cause that look.
Mm-hmm.
But certainly above both of them, he's got to knock that attitude off. You know, we've all gotten screwed before. I'm not saying that they screwed him or that Tonio didn't deserve it, but we have all placed in places that we have thought we deserved better. But you can't show that on stage because that's not going to play well to the fans.
Mm-hmm.
And what he's got to realize is bodybuilding is a business, you know, and nobody likes seeing somebody be a sore loser or a sore winner, you know, for that matter.
Right. Yeah, right.
It is what it is. You got to respect what the judges go with, whether you agree with it or not, and you got to take it gracefully. You know, all you could do is pick yourself up. But one thing I can say is he fucking looked good, dude.
He did. He looked fantastic.
And I know this is probably of no consolation to him. He's got a future, you know.
No question.
Where you see some other guys that play second or third or whatever down the line, all right, whatever, they'll be also rans. He's young, dude. He's got a future. So a couple little fine is something he could clean up to California, maybe if it's an over dieting problem, or if he's severely dehydrated and just didn't fill out properly. He could certainly clean that up for California. But going into California, not being a gracious runner-up, that carries weight too. So he's got to take that into consideration for the next show or the next show. But dude, you got to take your lumps, and you could bitch about it afterwards.
But you know what? But the thing with me was, what I said when I did the wrap up is that it was his first show, his pro debut, and the New York Pro is probably the third biggest show under the Arnold Classic, and you took second. That's pretty damn good. And I mean, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
As an athlete, you don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
You feel like you deserve to win. That's it, dude. And I get it, but you can't act like that on stage, and you can't act like that with your fans, because those are guys that are going to come see you again.
Right.
And if you don't give the fans any type of recognition that support you taking second, they're not going to support you when you win.
Right.
You know, so he's got to put that in check.
Didn't Dorian take second when he did the Night of Champions the first time around?
Yeah, he took second to
Momo Benaziza, was it?
Momo Benaziza,
yeah. So you're in damn good company.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Tonio, it's not like Tonio is some guy. Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Tonio's good. Tonio's fantastic.
He's good. He's good. There's some top two guys were good.
Tonio puts 10 pounds of muscle on, additional muscle with that frame, and he's a top 10 Olympian, you know.
He's got great shape and great muscle bellies, and
from the back, very similar to Dexter Jackson. Even his glutes and hamstring tie-ins, his back, you know, very similar to good Dexter Jackson. Yeah. I mean, the guy is basically flawless. He just needs to build on it, which he will. I mean, I don't know how old he is, but Stu is 26. But by the time Stu's 30, if he stays on the right track, he could be, you know, an Arnold Classic winner. You know, he's no joke. He really is no joke, you know. You know who could be really good? He just has to fix up a couple of things. Eric Wood.
Yeah.
Eric Wood looked great, and the only reason why he didn't place higher, in my opinion, was his glute and hamstring tie-in was off. He was a little soft there. And these guys came and peeled. I mean, these guys came and peeled. Joe Seaman was peeled. That big Czech dude, Joseph something or other, Joseph, whatever his name is, these guys were peeled to the bone.
Where was Seaman? Was Seaman third?
Seaman was fourth.
Who was third? I forgot.
The big Czech dude. Fifth was Eric Wood. And
top five.
Yeah. They did top five, and
they look better than I thought they were going to look.
But Eric Wood's
high hopes for this.
Eric Wood's shape is really good. Here, I'll show you. That's really all he has to work on, and I think he's very young. He's only in his late 20s, And I mean, yeah, look, I mean, his from the front, that's fantastic. You know, it's just when you get to, you know, he doesn't have a great hamstring drop, but all that could be fixed. I mean, here, that's a great side chest, you know, with the exception of, you know, the lower half, but all that could be fixed in time. That's a great pose. That's a knockout pose right there.
Yeah.
See, and this is what I mean right here, right?
Yeah, he was a little soft from the back end there.
If he wasn't, he would have been, you know, battling for third if he wasn't, if this wasn't so soft. But this could be easily corrected with the right coach, and he has time. You know, he has great shape. He has great shape, and he doesn't have any weak body parts, you know?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of good young blood coming up, you know? The one thing I got to say, now that we're allowed to talk about what the hell we want to talk about, is sixth place to Max Charles was a gift, was a damn gift. There was absolutely nothing from the back. When I tell you nothing, Jay, I mean, there was nothing. And he knew it because in the night show when he posed, he didn't even turn around.
Really?
Yeah. And he knew it. I mean, there was no lower back, there was no glutes, there was no hamstrings, there was nothing, you know. And so that was a gift, because there were guys, you know, like Nate that was in better shape, and there were plenty of other guys that were in better shape that, you know, were a 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, but that was a gift, you know. I don't know if it's age or he just missed the mark. I don't know, you know, because you're talking about a guy that, you know, 3 years ago you would have been talking about him winning the New York Pro in this lineup, you know.
Yeah, with the past few showings.
Yeah, and from what I understand, he actually contacted Milos again.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, because Milos put a post on his Instagram saying that he contacted him saying we have unfinished business, and Milos said, "Yeah, we do have unfinished business, so let's get to work." Right. Which is the best thing he could do, because he looked the best when he was with Milos.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell Milos does, but if you follow, he's just like phenomenal. He has surpassed Farah, Aceto. It's just like unbelievable. I don't know what he does or how he trains or what his diet's like or what his protocol is, but I mean,
yeah,
the guy is just he takes a good bodybuilder and makes him great, you know. Right. I don't know, like look what he did with Samson.
Well, you got to remember, you know, like there's other coaches that have done it, and there's other coaches that have competed and did. In my opinion, there's plenty of coaches out there, but you need to have really gone through it to know what it's like, to know what it takes, and to know what to do when you hit a speed bump, right?
Right.
Or hit a plateau. But Milos was one of those guys. Not only did he compete, he competed religiously.
Yes.
He competed week after week after week, almost every show a year. So he's done it more than these other guys.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so it gives him a little bit of that extra experience. You know, it gives you that extra acquired learning. That, hey, you do one show, okay, you could learn, and you know, like an Aceto or a Farah, but Milos has done show after show after show, peaking in extreme conditions in different geographic parts of the
that's right.
the world, you know, different circumstances, you know.
And let's not forget, in a lineup that many people say it was the greatest era of bodybuilders ever.
It was the top time of the industry, dude. It was, you know, it doesn't. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
You know, for people to argue it, you didn't see it. You weren't there. You know, right. We were there. You know, we saw it. We see what's now. There's some top guys now, but back then, dude, there was so many.
Yeah, it was like, you know, Lavroni, Flex, Ray, Ronnie, Milos, Gunther. Who was the other freak German guy with the blonde hair? What's his name?
Oh yeah,
Marcus Rule. I mean, you just keep going. Who was the guy that used to come in shredded and he actually died?
Paul
Dillette.
You know, Paul DeMayo, you know, they had.
Yeah, these guys were fucking freaks of nature, and they were.
Vince Taylor.
Oh yeah, that's right. Who was the guy? Andrea Munzer, right?
Munzer.
Yeah.
Mohammed Benaziz.
That's right, Momo Benaziz. Yeah. Who was the other guy that died? Mike Matarazzo.
Aaron Baker.
Yeah, you could just keep going and going and going. You know, and these guys were every year in the top 10 every year in the Olympia. You know, it was unbelievable. And he held his own against those guys. You know, I think, you know, in my opinion, again, you probably know better than me because you follow sports more. It seems that a great coach is a good athlete, not the other way around. Like, you don't get a great athlete that can become a great coach. You know, anytime you see a good team.
There's that argument that, you know, and I deal with this with my father-in-law all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like with the girls with soccer, and you know, my girls are on top academy teams, and
Yeah.
you know, he's got his opinions from the sideline. The guy's never played soccer in his life. And
Yeah, right.
I tell him, like, dude, you got to shut the fuck up on the sideline. You got to shut the fuck up, because the coaches don't want to hear you coaching from the side. This isn't fucking rec soccer. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I said, despite what you think you know, you don't fucking know more than that.
Right.
You haven't done it. Well, that's a matter of opinion. No, it's not a matter of opinion, dude. You've never fucking done it.
Yeah.
Stop coaching them from the sidelines when you don't know what they're trying to do. You know, so specific coaches, they have an eye for this, and they've done it.
Yeah.
You can't look. You don't know how your body's going to react. There are some coaches that can pull it off.
Right.
They know enough to get you through. But when you want to go to that elite level, dude, you're better off going with somebody who's got that acquired learning.
Yeah.
Nothing beats. There's book smart, and then there's smart.
There's reality smart. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, you could read things. Everything looks great on paper, but fucking do it and see it. And dude, just telling somebody to do something, but that's not enough, dude. It's not enough. It's not just the science and the diet and the supplements and the drugs.
No, yeah.
It's the mentality.
Yeah.
You know, what are you going to do to get them through? Have you sacrificed?
Right.
Have you starved and done it? It's not as easy as that.
Yeah, right.
You know,
and you know, and think about, like, I don't know, for some reason, a decent athlete always becomes a great coach. And I think it's personally because, like you said, it's the experience and the grind that they have to put themselves through to learn and make themselves that much better, and they understand it.
Yeah.
Think about, like, well, like you said, it's telling somebody what to do is not enough. You have to understand it. So, like, Freddie Roach used to train Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
Right? Manny Pacquiao's now retired. Right? So Freddie Roach gets Manny Pacquiao, who is one of the greatest fighters that ever lived, and says, hey, you're doing this wrong. You have to do A, B, and C. And Pacquiao gets it in one fucking sitting. Boom. Done. Pacquiao retires, and now he has to go back to good fighters. Not Hall of Fame, greatest ever. And you have to think about, like, if he says you're doing it wrong, you have to do A, B, and C, they're not going to get it like Pacquiao is. It might take 10 times. It might take 10 months. And that coach has to understand that and be patient, because he knows that athlete is not on the same level as that great fighter he once had. And I think I would love to interview a coach that would talk about that. Do you know what I mean?
So there's different aspects for athletes, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's 4 levels, right? So you have the people that are just extreme athletes. They have athleticism up the ass. They could do anything. They have that balance. They have that control, right? And then you have the technically inclined, where they have the skills on the field or in the ring or in a cage or whatever, where, you know, they know how to box, they know jiu-jitsu, they know this, they know that, you know, they know the technical side of fighting or the technical side of football, right? Then there's the tactical side, where how and when to apply that, right? The tactical side, that's your game IQ, right? You could teach somebody to move, but having the timing and knowing when to do it, when to see certain things on the field, that's the tactical side. That takes years to develop. There's some players that have all 3 of them. And
Right.
then there's the 4th aspect, right? That's the fucking heart and the drive. Okay. So it's rare you see somebody with all 4 of those.
Right.
But when you do, it's fucking dangerous. Like, you can get somebody who has extreme athleticism, but they will lose to somebody who's more technically inclined.
Yes, we've seen. Yeah,
right?
sure.
Because they have those skills, right?
Right.
And then you have somebody who's more has great game IQ, but they don't have the athleticism or they don't have the technical skills. They just have better timing at this and knowing when to do that, right? But when you get that extreme athlete,
right,
that has the technical skills, that has the tactical skills, and has the drive, dude, that's as elite as it gets, and that's like a Pacquiao.
Right. I would love to know the transition from going from Pacquiao to working with a good athlete, not a decent athlete,
Well, dude, if you talk to any of these scouts, like that go to combines that are looking, for that are recruiting people for either D1 sports or turning pros, pro sports, they want athletes, right? Because they know they could train you. That's why the combine, it's not who could catch the ball the best, it's who could jump the highest and who could run the fastest and who has a good IQ and who could maneuver. They'll train you. They got the best trainers in the world. You get a good athlete, they will learn.
Yeah.
So when you get a good trainer on top of that extreme athleticism, you put heart and drive into that too. That's a deadly.
That's a deadly combination. Yeah, that's a Phil Jackson, late '90s Chicago Bulls.
Dude, that's a Michael Jordan
team.
and a Kobe Bryant. Dude.
Right. Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. What do you think Phil Jackson's strategy was? Pass the ball to Mike. Here's what we're gonna do today.
Well, look, he knew that when you have somebody like Mike, you got to just let him, like a Peyton Manning, you just let him do his thing.
Right.
Some of these guys, they can't be coached. You can apply coaching to them, but at the end of the day, when you have somebody that can do the things that they do, you got to let them run free. You got to work.
Right. Joe, and Mariano Rivera was another one that comes to mind. Did you ever see? I've never seen a pitching coach come to the mound when Mariano Rivera was on the mound.
You just wave him off.
Yeah. Get out of here. Just go sit down, asshole. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
There was actually a scene. I don't know if you ever saw. It was a mini series. I think it was on ESPN years ago, called "The Bronx is Burning," and it was about the '70s Yankees when Billy Martin was managing. And there's a scene where who was Reggie Jackson was in a slump, and he's in like the ice bath. He's in the locker room. He's in the ice bath, and the batting coach comes over and he's like, "Reggie, I think I know."
I heard.
You remember that? Yeah. And he goes, "Reggie, I think I know what you're doing wrong. If you do this, this, and this." And Reggie was like, "What was your batting average when you were playing?" And he goes, "I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it." Yeah. And that dealing with those egos too.
Did you ever hear that Derek Jeter story?
No.
With the pink thong?
What?
So Jeter was in a slump, apparently. I might be telling this wrong, so whoever knows the story, forgive me. But so Jeter was in a slump, right?
Right.
I was in the locker room, and he's like, "Dude, what's going on? You're not hitting right." He's like, "Dude, I'm just stuck. My fucking head's not in it."
Yeah.
He goes, "Well, dude," he goes, "you got to wear the pink thong." He's like, "What do you mean?" Because you got to put it on underneath your pants. He's like, "You don't have to wear it as your underwear. You put it over your underwear." So no, I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. One day, he goes and he puts on the pink thong, and he went like 4 for 4 like that fucking day.
Really?
For the first pitch, hit the fucking home run.
Really?
Yeah. He said he wore it nonstop.
Was that while he was banging Mariah Carey?
Probably.
Dude,
yeah.
do you remember that? Like, he was in his early 20s on the Yankees, making millions of dollars and banging Mariah Carey. Remember that when Mariah Carey was smoking hot? It was
not the Mariah Carey of today.
Which is still which would be the scraps that I would take.
Yeah, right.
I got you. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You look great. Yeah. Don't worry about it.
She's empowered.
Shit. Anyway, did we talk about Nick Trigili because he's back on YouTube?
Yeah, dude, I saw that. What's he got? Like a different name or what's?
Yeah, it's called BS in Sports.
So is this something like he's just using to get over, or is it going to last? Or
I really wish I would know, but I started following him. He's only got and there's one thing about him, man. I tell you, he knows what he's doing, dude. He's only got.
Dude, I've been watching some of his stuff lately. He's been doing on Instagram.
Yeah.
training videos. This, like, dude, he's a
He know,
bright fucking guy,
yeah,
dude.
he knows what he's doing when it comes
Well,
to
dude,
podcasting.
he's creating different content. You
Yeah.
know, you might like what he's doing today, and tomorrow he's going to do something different. It's like he's just giving you a variety of different
Right.
angles
Yeah.
to view from, and it's probably it's actually it's very admirable. You know,
Absolutely. He really knows what he's
yeah,
doing. I actually messaged him on Instagram and told him, I'm glad you're back. But he has 4 videos up on YouTube, and he already has 6,500 subscribers. I mean, that's saying something right there. He's doing
he's got a good following, man, and
loyal, faithful following,
he puts out good content.
And you know what's funny is I understand more now why he does what he does after the whole MD debacle. Like, I get it more because it's like I got to go for mine because there's no loyalty in this industry. So his attitude is F everybody. I'm doing what I got to do to make a buck. And
Like
I'm going to
hate me or love me or whatever,
That's it, which,
Yeah.
I can't do to the extreme that he does, but
Right.
it's definitely a strategy that I could put into play, just not as extreme. But yeah, once that whole empty thing happened, I was like, I kind of get his angle now. I get it.
Yeah.
But he knows what he's doing, man. I mean, I got 80 something videos up here and I got like not even 500 subscribers. But my views are better than my subscribers, though.
Don't worry about that shit.
Yeah, I have a bunch of videos that have been, 2,000, 3,000 videos views, but they just have not subscribed, But yeah, it's gonna grow because you could see from the views that it's gonna grow.
Yeah.
You could tell. And to be honest with you, in the last couple of days with the whole mess, I've my subscribers jumped up. I think about 30, 35 subscribers jumped up. Which is, I mean, it's not a lot, but it's significant in my world, if you will. It just shows that people are faithful and loyal and like our content, So, but yeah, he knows what he's doing. I'm glad he's back because, we had a little bit of a back and forth, right? But the truth is, I don't like seeing anybody get canceled. If you don't like his stuff, don't watch it. I am not into that whole cancel culture thing. To me, that is just
Nick adds a different element. Excuse me. He adds a different element, and believe it or not, he keeps a lot of the other guys in check.
He does.
Nobody's gonna fuck around, anymore because Nick's gonna call you out on it, dude.
Absolutely,
and,
yeah.
So he's like a breath of fresh air, so to speak, from that angle because people can't just go around bullshitting anymore and get away.
Yeah. It's just that in a day where cancel culture is relevant, most people tend to sit on the fence. And he goes, not me. I'm not fence sitting. And it works. Even though he got canceled, I don't know what happened exactly. I don't know how he got back on. I don't know the details. Right. But, and you might never know because it's YouTube. You might not want to talk about it because it's YouTube. But it works. I'm a big movie buff, man. I'm a huge movie buff, right? And there was a movie called Biloxi Blues. Do you remember that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Matthew Broderick says to the other Jewish guy in the army with him, he goes, "Why is it that I come from the same background as you and I don't understand you?" And he said to him, "Eugene, you sit there all day and you write everything down in your little notebook." And he goes, "But you don't take part in the fight." And he goes, and Eugene goes, "What fight?" And he goes, "Any fight." He goes, "If you won't be a writer until you actually do that." And that's true in life. If you're going to fence it, then you're going to have a moderate life because that's what fence sitting is. And that's half the reason why I went, fuck it. I'm making that video after that whole debacle because I'm not going to do this and just fence it, and Nick Trugilli gives the finger to the world, gives the finger to the world and says, "I'm doing my thing. I don't care." And it fucking works. He's making a shit ton of money. So who's laughing last? Really, he's laughing all the way to the bank. You don't like me, great, but check my account because you could choke a horse. And I might not like all his content, right? But he's doing it right.
Dude, I think it's pretty entertaining.
Yeah. The only thing I really don't like is if like the personal stuff. Like when he went after like when he did the whole Hunter thing. But
that's just him.
Yeah, no, I get it. No, like I said, if you don't like it, don't watch it, right?
But he's not for everybody.
Exactly.
Neither am I. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But he what he does is he gives his angle on it. You don't have to agree with it.
No, 100%. He's great at thumbnails too. He's fantastic at thumbnails. And to be honest with you, the girl that edits my stuff, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I actually sent her Nick's, and I said, look at what he does on his thumbnails. And she started kind of not copying it, but making it like similar with a lot of the big words standing out and so on and so forth and blah, blah, blah. And he knows what he's doing when it comes to YouTubing and podcasting. End of story, period. No question about it. And that's it. And what do you want from me? And this guy's saying, what do you want from me?
Yeah, it's all good.
Shit. I don't know. I think I might compete again, man. I might do like,
Dude, we have the Muscle Beach in 9 weeks.
That's right. I am going to be there.
Yeah.
With the booth. I'm going to have a bunch of shirts. I'm going to see if I could have, I'm going to see if I can have some beautiful women with me there. Yeah, I hope. I don't know. But like I said from the beginning of our podcast, I'm not stopping until we have a booth at the Olympia with large-breasted women and Hell's Angels as security. That's until then. Even if we have a booth with large-breasted women, if I don't have security as Hell's Angels as security, I'm not done yet. Yeah. If the pagans are my security, I'm not done yet. I want Hell's Angels as security. Yeah. It was the Rolling Stones. Yeah, the pagans are great, but it was the Rolling Stones. They had Hell's Angels as security in the 60s.
Yeah, but didn't all hell break loose when that happened?
They killed the guy.
Yeah. I don't think they did much security after that.
Yeah. I don't know the whole story, but yeah, I think they stabbed the guy in the audience. Like, do you know that life is still strong, dude?
Yeah, I know.
That life is still strong. The media doesn't like harp on it much, but I have a good friend who does Insane Throttle Biker News, which I've been on, and he's been on my other podcast, the Outcast podcast. And he does a lot of news and reporting and so on and so forth. And he himself was a 1% biker. And he reports a lot of the news, and the stuff is still strong. There's still like a lot of.
You ever read their code, their rules that they have to live by?
No.
If you're a member, you don't get out, but they have a code that they live by, and
right.
What they wear, how they ride, their chain of command, this and that, and did they all swear an oath to it? And that's their
there was they moved forever. The Hells Angels clubhouse was on 3rd Street in the city, and then they moved to Drogsneck in the Bronx. They sold the building and they moved to Drogsneck in the Bronx, and then the pagans started moving up into New York. And I think it was 2018. Where 2 guys went into one of the pagans. I don't know who it was. I don't know the specifics. He was at work. I think he was like some kind of custodian or something like that. I don't know all the specifics. And they went into his job, and they were dressed from black down, and they shot him and killed him.
Really?
Yeah. And there's still shootouts. There's still beatings. It's still very much alive, except the local news where it happens will report it. But, the media doesn't really shine on it because it doesn't fit their agenda, the mainstream media, But it's very, very much alive. It's a matter of very, very much alive. And I've learned more since I'm writing,
Yeah.
Like if I'm writing and there's a 1% biker club, whether it's a big biker club or a small biker club, if there's a 1% biker, I cannot pass them up. If I pass them up, they have quote unquote the right to kick the shit out of me.
Really?
Yeah, you don't pass up a 1%. Like if you see, 3, 4, 5, 1% bikers and you're riding near them, or it just so happened, You don't pass them up.
Huh.
Yeah.
What if they're going really slow? Like
They probably do it on purpose.
what if they're going 25 and a 35? Do you have the right to?
Yeah, I'm not gonna try it, to be honest with you. I'm not gonna try it, But that being said, they do hold there's a clubhouse in Newark, the Hells Angels, and they do hold like bike shows and block parties and different things like that, and everybody's invited. Like anybody, like you can go pay your dues. As long as you pay and buy a ticket and you act right, they don't care. They had one not too long ago. I think it was last month, where they had a bike show in front of the clubhouse and whatnot. And I actually emailed them to see if I could go, because I had just gotten my bike back, and didn't get back to me, because it sometimes it's open and sometimes it's like, don't come unless you speak to a member, that kind of thing. So I emailed them to see if I can go, but they never got back to me, because I would have loved to have gone. There's a couple of guys in Signature that I see once in a while with the I don't know if they're support t-shirts or there's support t-shirts, and then I don't know if they're actual angels or if they're just support t-shirts. I don't know. I'm not going to ask. Actually, I would ask. I'll be honest with you. If I did see them, I would ask them, if they would do an interview. I wouldn't ask anything stupid. I would just ask about the culture and the club itself, how long the club's been around and stuff like that. I've had guys on my other channel. I had guys that were former Mongols. One guy was a former Mongol. The other two guys were 1%ers, but they wouldn't tell me what club. They're not in the club anymore.
Right.
And they're cool. And they basically said, just don't ask me about the club. Don't ask me about the inner workings of the club. You can ask me anything else.
Really?
Yeah, they said you can ask me anything about me, but not the inner workings of the club. I said, no problem, you got it. So we asked, of course, a couple that they went to prison and so on and so forth.
It's like one of those first rule of Fight Club kind of things.
Yeah. Listen, if somebody's coming on my podcast, and especially with those guys, especially with the bikers, the mafia guys, the porno chicks, I always say on the other podcast, I always ask them, is there anything you don't want me to ask you? Right? Now, if I'm paying you, it's only been a handful of people I'm paying you, then that's but if you're coming on, I always ask before we start, is there anything you don't want me to ask? And those guys were like, yeah, just don't ask me about the inner workings of the club and how it works. I said, no problem, you got it. That's it. But other than that, there's and I've been trying to get what's his name on. Actually, I gotta message him again, because he does message me back. He was a bodybuilder, a monster. He loves bodybuilding. I think he has his own NPC show, and he was a former Hell's Angel. What the hell is his name?
More.
Oh God, what's his name? I think he's in the Midwest. I'm not 100% sure, but he's always in the bodybuilding scene. He used to be a fucking monster, and he's been on other podcasts, and it's the same thing. He doesn't. Oh, now he's in his probably close to 60, maybe in his 60s.
Dean Caputo?
Who?
Dean Caputo?
No. What's his name? I can't remember his name. As a matter of fact, he actually. Do you remember in professional wrestling in the late 90s where they had the NWO with Hulk Hogan, and they did a what do you call it? Like a special, and they actually got some angels to lead the NWO and he was one of them. I can't remember his name, but now he's actually like he's a real like born again Christian, and he's all about God and prayer, and he always puts like this inspirational stuff on Instagram. I messaged him twice to come on, but the last couple of times he said he's on the contract, he can't go on a specific podcast. But I have not spoken to him in a while. I'll actually ask him to come back on. I forget his name. He has the mohawk. I forgot his name, man. I don't remember his name.
Oh fuck, I know who you're talking about.
If anybody knows his name, just comment down below. I can't remember.
He's got a blonde mohawk?
Yes. Yeah. He's an older dude now.
I forgot his name.
Yeah. I forgot who it was. And what's his name was an angel for a long time too. The guy from Oz. Remember the show Oz? What's his name? The Italian guy from the Bronx.
Oh yeah?
He was Arturo Gotti's security, and he was also Pam Anderson's security. What the hell's his name? He was from Oz. He was from the show Oz.
Yeah.
He had a reputation. He was a former fighter, boxer. He had a reputation of fucking people up. Well, I mean, he actually was. I think he became like the head of the New York chapter of the Angel. What the hell is his name? How come I can't remember these fucking things today? Oh God, let me look it up.
Oh, the guy, did he beat up Van Damme? That guy?
Yes, yeah.
It's, oh shit, dude.
What's his name?
Yeah, I know. Uh, Chuck,
Uh,
Chuck, Chuck Zito.
that's it. Yeah, Chuck Zito. Here it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
Chuck Zito. Yeah. He was an angel.
Yeah, he was a bad man.
What happened?
He was a bad man.
Yeah, he was a bad motherfucker. I used to remember that stupid show back in the day where it was punked,
Yeah.
and they used to always punk like teenage pop
Yeah.
singers and stuff. And I was like, you should try punking. And there were 3 people I always said that they should try punking. One was Chuck Zito. The other one was Shook Knight. And the other one was Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson then, not Mike Tyson now.
I think Mike Tyson now is probably more unstable.
Yeah,
Unstable.
but I was like, try punking those 3 and see how far you get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially back then in the late 90s, you know. But anyway, dude. All right. It's 20 to 10. So we're gonna wrap it up.
All right.
Oh, I forgot. I am gonna be doing the next Iron Hardcore review is gonna be at Diamond Gym. I'm actually gonna go meet Dwayne tomorrow after work.
I heard you mention that earlier. So
Yeah.
what is that?
Well, I go to the gym and then I just rate hardcore gyms. And I did the first one I did was Signature, which I didn't do. It was decent. It was my first one. It was okay. I didn't do it as good as I should have. But I saw Dwayne at the New York Pro and I asked him if I can come to his gym. And he said, yeah. So he said, I'm not there on the weekends. I said, no problem. And we discussed, and he said, come, Thursday after work. And I was like, that's perfect.
What did I was groomed there. I was there since I was 15, 16 years old.
Really?
I spent all my amateur career and then the beginning stages of my pro career at Diamond Gym.
Yeah. So who was the original owner?
John Kemper.
That's right. John Kemper. Okay. Yeah.
I ran the place for 11 years.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Very cool. So, yeah, I'm going there tomorrow, take a bunch of footage, work out. I have a feeling it's going to get 5 stars across the board because
Dwayne will tell you stories. I used to train Dwayne there.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Did
He'll
Dwayne
tell
come? Yeah. All right. I'll let him know. Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Listen, get a good night's sleep. Once again, thank you very much, man. Appreciate everything. And I'll text you tomorrow.
You got it, brother. Have a good night.